Welcome back to Goodnight, Lighthouse. I'm Miss Dorothy, and I'm here to read you another story. And I found a book tonight that I think you're going to like because it's called Curious George and the Snowy Day. It's a Curious George book. Curious George and the Snowy Day. We're going to get into this book and find out what happens when Curious George wakes up and the whole ground is covered with snow. I bet he has a good time, just like you would. We need to get into this book and see what Curious George does on his snowy day. Are you ready to get inside this book with Miss Dorothy? Good. I need you to sit up and listen up because here we go. George woke up to a wonderful surprise. It had snowed all night. George was curious about all that clean, white snow. Maybe he could build something out of it. "You go outside, George," said the man with the yellow hat. "I'll make us some cocoa for later." This was going to be a perfect day. George went out to play. Uh-oh! He sank right into the fluffy powder. Oh no! George tried to walk on the snow, but he sank right in. Bill, George's friend and neighbor, came by. He did not have any trouble walking on the snow. "Hey, George," Bill said, "I have an extra pair of cross-country skis you can have." Then Bill showed George how to ski by making zigzags through the snow. George could not wait to try it himself. Oh, George didn't have any trouble on the snow because he had skis on his feet. With skis, George could stay on top of the snow, and he followed Bill uphill. Suddenly they heard a noise. Oink, 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 oink. Bill said, "I'm going to go find out what that is. You wait here." George waited on top of the hill in the cold. His house looked so small and warm. George wanted to get home for his cocoa. Was Bill coming back? Bill left George on the top of the hill, and he just wonders, how's he going to get down? "Hey, George!" Bill shouted from the bottom of the hill. "I couldn't find whatever was making that sound, but I have to head home now. Keep the skis and have fun." So George did, for a while. When George was tired, he skied down the hill toward home until he hit a rock. His skis flew off, and George tumbled the rest of the way down. George picked himself up at the bottom of the hill. What would he do now? He spotted two children pulling a sled. They were walking on the snow, but they did not have skis. How did they do it? It had to be those wide, flat shoes they wore. "Vinny, I think he likes our snowshoes," the girl said. George nodded. "Vicky and I live on the other side of the hill," said Vinny. "If you come home with us, we'll lend you our snowshoes so you can get home too. Climb aboard the sled." Oh, that's nice. The boy and the girl are going to give George a ride on their sled so that he can borrow their snowshoes. It was fun to sail down another hill, but now George was even farther from his house. "Here you go, monkey," Vicky said. She gave George her snowshoes and climbed on the sled. "Bye, monkey. Good luck." George began his long journey home. He was cold and tired, and climbing up the hill was hard work. The thought of the nice, steaming cup of cocoa kept him going. Oink! George looked up. There was that noise again. He decided to follow it. He wanted to get home for his cocoa, but he just really needed to know what that noise was. A cold, lost pig. What was he doing out here all by himself? And how could George rescue the poor pig? George remembered how Vicky and Vinny had rescued him. What George needed was a sled. It had to be flat and big enough for the pig to sit on. A fallen sign nearby looked like a good choice. What a ride! George is working really hard to help that little pig. When George got home, he found his neighbor, Farmer Rankins, talking to the man with the yellow hat. "Thanks for bringing my pig home, George," the farmer said. "He got out last night before it snowed." "Good work, George," said the man with the yellow hat. "There's some cocoa waiting for you inside." That was exactly what George had hoped to hear. George saved the pig and got him back to the farmer. But now he just wants his cocoa. Skiing, snowshoeing, sledding, and now cocoa. It has been the perfect snowy day. Wow, Curious George had a big fun day. Did you see that? He really did a lot in the snow. And I was so happy when he found the little pig and rescued him from the snow and took him home. Snowy days can be so much fun, but they sure do make you tired. Even Curious George needed to take a nap. This was a fun book. I hope you'll think about this book the next time you go out into the snow. Think about all the fun that you can have. Snowy days can be so much fun. There's a lot to do outside, but my favorite part is when you come back inside and you get all warm and snuggly, maybe have a cup of hot chocolate, maybe sit by a fire. That's the best thing for me on a snowy day. What's your favorite thing to do on a snowy day? You should write Miss Dorothy a note and let me know. And while you're at it, write Miss Dorothy a note and let me know what book you want me to find for you, because I'm ready to read to you and I need more books coming my way. Now, if it's snowing outside, I want you to go play in the snow. If it's raining outside, maybe go jump in some puddles. If it's sunny outside, just enjoy the nice warm sunshine. Whatever the weather is, whatever you do, make sure you're out there having a good time. But that'll be tomorrow, because tonight you need to go to bed. I need you to get under those covers, get cuddled up, curled up, get ready for a good night's sleep. And tomorrow, when you're out playing in whatever the weather is, obey and obey right away. And then come back and see Miss Dorothy, because I'm going to be sitting right here waiting to read a book to you.